triangles, ABC and triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. And a little quick review for you guys. You know, when you have the A with a little apostrophe, that means that's the new image, correct? That's after you've done something to the original. The original will be the A without the apostrophe, and you call that the pre-image because nothing has been done to it yet. With that in mind, we can deduce that the original triangle is this one because it doesn't have the apostrophes. So, how do we rotate? How far do we rotate this triangle to get to this triangle? There are two ways you could go. You could go like a clock, which if you look at the notes, is we go negative degrees, or we can go against the clock. We call that counterclockwise, which means it will be positive degrees. And again, go ahead and move up in the notes so you see the difference. Once again, you're moving, we call it negative when you go like a clock because you're in the negative area, and we call it counterclockwise positive because the y is positive. So review the notes for further clarification. Now, we need to discuss which one we're doing because we do have multiple choices. Well, the best point to pick right now would be this point, point A, because it's on our x and y axes, and it's easier to know how many degrees are passing. Because notice, every axis is a 90-degree angle. So it's easier to measure if we choose one that's on those lines. So we know the original is letter A, and we know we want to get to A prime. There's two ways we could do it. We could go against the clock, but look what happens if we do against the clock. We go a certain amount of degrees, and then we have to go 90 degrees and 90 more degrees. And if we're going counterclockwise, that's a positive. So we know we go 180 plus more, right? Because of this little piece. We know this piece, all of it's going to be 180 to get there, plus this extra piece. So is there any option that has positive 180 or positive 180 plus more? No, our highest is 165, so we know we didn't go the positive route because there's nothing more than 180. Hopefully that makes sense. We're using some common sense here, guys. So let's erase this for now, and let's talk about it the other way. We know that the positives are gone, so it has to be either A or C. Which one could it be? Well, let's think about it this way. We know it's going to go 90 degrees, right? 90. This thing is going to traverse this much, and then 90 more. So we can agree on that. Now, look at this angle. All of this is 90, but is point A all the way down here to talk about 90 completely? No. If you see it, it's actually at the halfway point. So what's half of 90, guys? Half of 90 is actually, if you get a calculator, 90 divided by 2 is 45. And what happens when you divide what happens when you add 90 and 45? You get 135 degrees. And since you're moving like a clock, that's minus 135, we found our answer. So once again, sometimes you just gotta eyeball it and figure out which was the closest approximation. In this case, it was easier to tell. Sometimes just look at the multiple choice that's closest to what you think.